all had the right kind of face to the public to present an image in which they were combative, tried to be science-based, willing to engage, but they were also reasonable people and respectful about other kinds of views. So I think the credibility of the River Alliance, even as an opponent, grew in oftentimes some very tense environments.
In the early days when I was starting to get involved in studying this, I would say my perception of the River Alliance was as the dam removal cheerleader. This is great, we gotta do it, it's awesome, everything's gonna be great, the omelet's gonna be yummy, there's no downside to it, we don't even have to break the eggs, to being a much more, playing the role much more of the information provider, the arbiter, the moderator in the discussion. And personally, I like that maturation process from my point of view, because it's gone from what I think is a bit of a perhaps naive or Pollyanna position to something that's more realistic and at the end of the day probably more a successful strategy in terms of dealing with these removals, because you're treating people more respectfully and you're not telling them what to do.
They were open. I mean, the group is dedicated to rivers, so coming in with river advice, and I think people took it as
Nobody
that.
thought of them as an extremist group of, thought they were a group trying to improve and do better with it.
Okay. Well,
Yeah.
that's nice.
And they are.
Let's go to the river, let's go to the creek, let's go down in the water and cool off this hot week. Let's go down to the river, let's go to the lake, let's burn a fire and give this scene a break. Let's get out of the city, let's go running the street.